Or they try to.
Welcome to this segment of the Pittsburgh Business Virgin. I'm your host, Brad Hillbert, president of Three Rivers Wealth Management Group, and I'm here with Nick Cortazzo, my co-host. Hey, it's better. It's better than Josh. Anything's better than
Wow,
Josh.
thanks.
We're here, and we're really happy today to have Dr. Christina
I knew he was
Teimouri.
Teimouri.
Started
off good.
DPM. And she is the principal, the owner of Beaver Valley Foot Clinic. Thank you for coming in today.
Oh, my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
And as you can see, we have her like in between. She's got her scrubs on, so she's like
Always working
in between surgeries and what have you today. Doc, the first question I had for you today was tell us a little bit, one, about what do you do at Beaver Valley Foot Clinic, number one, but then number two, how'd you build this considerable business that has 5 locations, 30 employees? It's a pretty big operation.
Well, I started 16 years ago. I did my residency at the medical center in Beaver and got board certified in surgery. And while I was finishing my residency, Dr. Moydell was a podiatrist in Aliquippa, and he actually injured himself, and they asked me to fill in for him. So when I finished, I started helping him out until he got better, but he never got better and retired. So I opened my first practice.
Wow.
In Aliquippa. And one day I was hearing about a lot of patients whose podiatrist was retiring. I'm like, well, who's retiring? I know every podiatrist. There's not many of us. And they said, Dr. Ognebine, he's in Beaver Falls. So I went up to Beaver Falls. I met
Sure
Dr.
enough,
Ognebine, and
he was
just ready to lock his door and just retire. Like, well, let me help your patients. So we just made an easy transition, took over his Beaver Falls location. Over time, through relationships with different people, we've opened our other offices in Ambridge. The next one was in Cranberry. A doctor invited us to kind of nest inside his practice for a while till we grew so big within a year. He said, whoa, you got to go down the hall. And so we did that. We moved down the hall on Cranberry. We outgrew that. The next year, we moved into another larger office, and then we outgrew that 2 years later. And now we have a 3,000 square foot gorgeous office in Cranberry where we house our Medi-Spa, our Advanced Vein Center, and our Advanced Liposuction Center.
And I've been there. It's a beautiful place.
Ask him sometime to tell you about that trip.
Yeah. But no, great lobby, very informative the way that you have it laid out. It really is very interactive.
Well, my background's in education, so I try to educate the patients also. And then our 5th location was Moon Township. Another doctor retired, and we just took it into the fold. We brought on Dr. Derico Quattrone, who's also dual board certified in surgery and wound care management. He also has special advanced training from Johns Hopkins University for diabetics and the care of their neuropathy.
And I got to think it's a good business in this particular area, as
There's
a lot of
so
people
many.
know or
Yeah.
maybe don't know, because we're in the Pittsburgh area. Pittsburgh is, I think, only second to Dade County, Florida, as far as senior citizens. So I'm guessing podiatry, a lot of that really falls into some of the elder care, right?
Well, I would say 16 years ago when I first started, it was almost 95% senior citizens. But as their children have driven them to us and we've been around a long time, now their kids, their grandkids, their neighbors, their friends, I'd say 90% of our new patients come from word-of-mouth referrals from happy people. So it's really grown to, my youngest patient was a few months old, all the way up to my oldest was 109 years old.
Are you serious?
And he still lived at home and walked around and answered the door. I couldn't believe it.
Wow.
We had a 96-year-old actually drive himself to the office, come in, had his toenails taken care of, and he asked if we could do the laser machine to get rid of his wrinkles.
Are you serious?
He was
That's
amazing.
funny.
We absolutely loved
Speaking of wrinkles, what are some of the treatments or the things that you guys handle? Kind of give me a menu of services that you guys are performing right now.
Okay. Well, at the foot clinic, our main focus, besides general podiatry, we can do anything any other podiatrist could do. But our focus has been to bring to the Pittsburgh area the latest technology available to save people from unnecessary surgeries. So, for instance, typically in New York City and LA, the new things will spring up. We wait till they've been tried and true, the 5-year follow-up studies, then we bring it to Pittsburgh. And so we're still 15 years ahead of everybody else. The shockwave therapy for heel pain, we do cryosurgery or cryotherapy where you use minimally invasive nitrous oxide to freeze a probe for tumors so you don't have to cut into the foot to remove tumors anymore. What else? There's so much. There's so much. The nerve decompression.
My mother-in-law had something on the bottom of her foot, and they used, I think, radiation, right? The old way. Isn't that one of the things that they used to do?
That would scare me.
Yeah, no, I mean, she was talking about it, and she had a lot of problems, a lot of tissue damage. So
we use radio frequency.
This is years ago, so it sounds like your technology has come a long way to sort of prevent a lot of that.
Right. Actually, we can use radio waves, like the AM and FM radio waves, to remove tumors from the foot. You can surgically excise. It's like almost like a cyber knife where you only can disrupt one molecule and cut through and only excise the tissue you don't want and leave intact the tissue you do. It's amazing.
Wow, we'll break. Hold off on 1 second on that thought. We'll be back for our next segment with Dr. Christina, owner, president of Beaver Valley Foot Clinic, in a few minutes. Check us back in a few seconds.